Hi guys, welcome back to my rabbit hole of K-pop. I am Atomic Rabbit. It's my first day back after a couple of days of recording, and as per usual, it feels very strange. I have to get back into it. In honor of TAEYONG opening his own YouTube channel, there is a performance video that was posted earlier this morning. Yes. Earlier today, which means almost 3 hours ago for me. And I thought it would be nice to include that in my session since I'm sitting down for a couple of comebacks as well. So here is TAEYONG's performance video for Lonely. Let's go. For a second, I thought that was my neighbor. Except my neighbor is more discreet.
I'm so lonely. I'm eternally with nobody. I've been through myself, but I'm lonely. I don't know what to do. 이제 뭘 하지 뭐든지. Yeah. Every time, every day, everything feels lonely. 나도 너를 잘 모르겠다는 말이지. 일만 했던 턴 그런 턴 싫을지 몰라. 싫을 땐 싫어하는데 잘. Cause every time I was on fire. Look at me. Every day I was on fire. 불타 고르는 밤 새벽에 태양을 보면서 자 어쩌다 보니 그렇게 된 now. Cause every day I went overseas. Now I'm just stripping my privacy. Got it every night and I see. 멋지로 바라보는 I see. I'm so lonely. I'm eternally with nobody. I've been through myself, but I'm lonely. I don't know what to do. 이제 뭘 하지 뭐든지.
Life is falling far. 너무 조급하지 않아도 it's alright. In the end, I will be the one I wanna be. So let's not think other words.
그래 뭐 될 대로 되라고 해. 그래 뭐 내 맘대로 난 할게. 아무도 날 보지 못하는 섬에서 하고픈 대로 하지요. But I'm lonely. I'm so lonely. I'm eternally with nobody. I've been through myself, but I'm lonely. I don't know what to do. 이제 뭘 하지 뭐든지.
I'm so lonely. I'm so lonely. Somebody help me. Somebody help me. 'Cause I'm lonely.
Okay, this is all kinds of cute. Okay, but I need to watch that again because there is so much happening. I think 30 seconds in, I just didn't know if I had to listen to the song or watch his performance. There's a lot happening at the same time because I want to listen to the song, but then I also want to look at the way he moves. And it's a bit much. It it makes my head explode. So I think the couple of things that I can say now about this, from what I heard and what I saw. From what I heard, it sounds like a comfort song. It sounds like in his voice, there is this soothing element coming through. It's that kind of big brother, reliable leader quality that Taeyong has that for me sounds through in his voice and in the layering of this song. And I'm also reminded of both Kai and Baekhyun, and I would like to stress once again that I am not comparing the two. I'm saying literally what I'm saying is that I'm reminded of them. Both Kai and Baekhyun have a similar sort of vibe. I think the dancing part is more where I'm reminded of Kai, but the song, that is where I'm more reminded of Baekhyun. And I think Candy comes to mind, but I've seen a lot more of Baekhyun's solo work, and right now I can't remember the titles of them, but I think Candy is one of the ones where I'm reminded probably also because of the dancing in it. There's a sense of familiarity that comes into this. into the song. And it's not because I've heard it before or because I've seen it before, but for some reason it feels natural, and it feels like I know it, or I know him, or and that's that level of comfort that comes into it. And then looking at the dancing, that is so, so powerful. But there's also a lot of control exercised in it. And it's different from what I see him do in NCT, but it also isn't. And I'm also reminded his dancing style, the way he moves, I'm reminded of Yosang from 80s. He also has that electricity that seems to run through him in his movements. It almost looks like he's losing control, but he is not. It's the exact opposite. It's very, very controlled, but it's really explosive. And Yosang from 80s has that as well. It's very, very personal. Again, I'm reminded of it. I'm not comparing them, because people are individuals. They have their individual style, and it's more about qualities that people possess, and it's about similarities that you can see. And I couldn't tell you why my brain works like that. I think there's some sort of categorization that happens in my brain, where I immediately, what I see, I put it away in my library up here in my head, and so that I know where I need to go if I want something very specific, or if I'm in the mood for something. So in this instance, the song itself, I would put it on a shelf where I would have Baekhyun. But if I want to watch something where dancing, choreography, I would go to a different shelf where I would have Kai and I would have Yosang. And this is probably the best I can describe what is happening in my brain when I, bring other people into play in this. Okay, I'm going to watch this again and see if I can see some more elements that jump out to me. So who is the woman singing? Because their voices match really, really well.
I'm so lonely. I'm a hungry in the valley. I've been from myself.
Because it's high, but it's soft. It's airy, but powerful.
I'm eternally with nobody. I've been through myself, but I'm lonely. I don't know what to do, more than
Like now I know I'm looking at a screen, I'm looking at him, but I'm listening so much to his voice and to this song, to how it starts. The register is so perfect for his voice. The tone where it starts and the tone on which he's building, where it's going, and also the female vocals used on this match so perfectly well with the tone that he chose to sing this song in. And listening to it, I'm reminded of last night's choir practice where I was talking about that exact thing. I adjust the way I'm singing to the other ladies around me. So if I sing with voices that are higher than me, I will automatically make my voice or my sound more airy because I'm lower register. So his register in which he sings for me would also be perfect. And when I would be singing this, I would have more body to my voice. It would be less airy, but it would be full. It would be colored. It would be a warm tone. But if I sing lighter, it would be more like the female vocals on this. Still powerful, but more airy, so it would float more in the sky. And if I would want to make something mine, I would go more into a register which is really comfortable for me, where it's fuller and warmer, which brings in that familiarity element, which he has, or which he is bringing into this song. And his voice it's not extremely low, it's not very high, it's middle, but it's a warmer, lower voice. And it's soothing like a warm bath on a cold day. Maybe where it's snowing outside. And I know that sounds weird because it's spring, but maybe, to kind of sketch the scenery that is in my mind. I'm
Every time, every day, everything feels lonely. 나도 너를 좀 모르겠다는 말이지. 일만 했던 던 그런 탓 싫지 몰라. 쉴 땐 쉬라는데 좀. Cause every time I was on fire. Look at me. Every day I was on fire. 불타오르는 밤 새벽에 태양을 보면서 좀. 어쩌다 보니 그렇게 된 now. Cause every day I went overseas. Now I'm just stripping my privacy. Got it every night and I see. 멋지로 바라보는 I'm so lonely.
See, I know I'm pausing. Who cares? We can all watch this again in one sit after I'm done expressing my thoughts, because that's what I'm here for. Because he went to this. This is his bass line, right? He went to his bass line. And we know TAEYONG is a phenomenal rapper who raps really well in a higher tone of voice, but his lower tone of voice is, I think, personally, for me, when I listen to him rapping, I feel, no, that's not true, because in both registers, higher and lower, you will always be able to pick out TAEYONG's rapping in whatever song. You will always know it's him because of his very specific way of pronouncing his words. It sounds very rounded. He has, I don't know what it is exactly, but it's like he's always rapping with something in his mouth, and it sounds so peculiar, but it's so addictive. But both higher and lower he goes well, but he has the ability to make both higher and lower sound very, very different. This is the bass. Low.
Everything feels lonely. 나도 너를 좀 모르겠다는 말이지. 일만 했던 던 그런 탓 싫지 몰라. 쉴 땐 쉬라는데 좀. Cause every time I was on fire. Look at me.
But it's also very composed. There's this rhythm, and it's very composed. It's just, if you're in a train, it's been going for quite a while, you're in that comfortable state, you're installed, the train is going, you still have a couple of hours ahead, and it's like, it's good, life is good, it's all right, you don't have to go anywhere, you don't have to be anywhere, there's nothing you can do, it's just, that's how it is, There's that rhythm, there's that flow, there's that calm comfort, and then he goes up.
Every day I was on fire. 불타오르는 밤 새벽에 태양을 보면서 좀. 어쩌다 보니 그렇게 된 now. Cause every day I went overseas. Now I'm just stripping my privacy. Got it every night and I see. 멋지로 바라보는
It's kind of that explosion. It picks up a little bit. It's like you just had a pop of color somewhere, or you just had that splurge of creativity popping up in your head, or there's just something that makes you euphoric for a moment, and it's something that inspires you, and then it all sort of comes together again.
그래 뭐 될 대로 되라고 해 그래 뭐 내 맘대로 난 할게 아무도 날 보지 못하는 섬에서 하고픈 대로 하지 but I'm lonely I'm so lonely I'm eternally with nobody I think for myself but I'm lonely I don't.
Yeah, it's like from the second half, I'm sorry for pausing again, I'm sure you don't mind. From exactly halfway through the song, like somewhere here, because that's where the verse picked up, right? It's like the three parts were introduced, and from this moment on, halfway through the song, this is where everything sort of comes together. And it sort of makes sense because now thinking back to when I first looked at the whole video in one go, this is somewhat where I started getting into the video, and sort of the elements started sort of melting together. Instead of, do you have to listen to the song? Do you have to look at the video? Where am I looking? What am I doing here? So this is sort of where it all comes together. And from this is also where the dancing elements and the song sort of match together and mesh together.
I'm in turmoil with nobody. I think for myself, but I'm lonely. I don't know what to do with you more than she.
Life is far and far.
She has a wonderful voice.
It's alright. In the end, I would be the one I wanna be. So let's not think other words.
Guy back. I love it.
내 맘대로 날아올게 아무도 날 보지 못하는 섬에서 아고픈 대로 왔지요 but I'm lonely I'm so lonely I'm in turmoil with nobody I think for myself but I'm lonely I don't know what to do with you more than she
I'm so lonely. I'm so lonely.
Like, look at it, the way he moves. It's very controlled.
Cause I'm lonely.
Like, even the slower movements are super controlled. I think for Taeyong's dancing abilities, it's exactly the same as his rapping and singing. Like, you can pick him out from anywhere. If he would be wearing a mask, you know it's Taeyong because of his explosiveness, his controlled explosiveness, that electricity that I'm talking about. I'm just still blown away by the fact that it's possible to come up with a choreo that stands on itself, but which also matches a song. It's not two worlds apart. It's two worlds coming together and forming two halves of a whole. I am still very much mind blown by that. Because K-pop choreo is something so completely out of this world. It is something so completely different. The fact that someone can be such an all-round performer and make it look and sound like this is still something so incredible and so incredibly satisfying as well. Thank you so much for joining me on my couch and accompanying me on expressing my thoughts and discovering Taeyong's performance track. I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you on the next one. Annyeong!